Hi everyone, Dani here. Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Yes, it's been a little bit since I have said those words. And I can't lie, it's felt kind of good not to have to jump on and make a video every other day. It's been kind of nice to have a break, but it's also been really sad because I love you guys. I love the community. I love coming on here and talking about books, having fun in general. And I had a little bit of that during the last couple months because I have stayed active on DoubleBookedCo's YouTube channel, but that's only twice a month and it's live, so it's not a ton of pressure. But if you've been following along there too, you know that sometimes I had to leave right away because of my son, who was born in June and is sometimes very needy, but obviously understandable as he is an infant and he is breastfeeding. So anywho, I did put a poll on my channel asking, how do you guys want me to come back? Because it's kind of like an awkward icebreaker moment of you're gone for so long, how do you return to your channel? And you all voted for a wrap-up / life update video, which is great. It's easy for me to tell you what I've been reading because I really have not been reading a lot. I've kind of just been reading the book club book that DoubleBookedCo has chosen each month. So if you haven't been following along there, the books that I have read since you last have seen me, we read the Ladies Choir of Chilbury, or the Chilbury Ladies Choir. I think it's the Chilbury Ladies Choir. You'll see, I'll put a picture of it here. I believe the author for that was Jennifer Ryan. And that was a World War II epistolary novel. It was great. I actually listened to it on audio, which was really cool because there was music that was along with the audio, kind of with what the choir was singing at the time. There was little melodies with that, or they were singing, and it was really nice. I have found out that I really love epistolary novels. So epistolary meaning it's in journal entries, diary entries, letters, that kind of stuff. Very similar to the way, or exactly the way that the Guernsey Literary Potato Pie Peel Society book is written. So definitely looking for more books like that. So if you like World War II, you like epistolary, that is definitely a book I would recommend. I think I maybe gave it a 3 or a 4 star. There's a couple of characters in there that are really interesting. The storylines are really compelling. And I think it was really well done, if I recall. There's a whole live discussion of it on the DoubleBookedCo channel, so you can definitely check that out if you want to know more information. But beware spoilers. Another book that I read with them was called The Summer Book by Tove Jansson, which was a book that we read, Women in Translation. It was a smaller book, and that one is kind of written in vignettes, I would say, and it's about a grandmother and a granddaughter and just kind of about their island home and kind of things that they see throughout the year, or actually it's within a summer, and it was okay. I again listened to that on audio. I think all the books I've read this summer has been on audio, and I didn't like the narrator, but overall, I think it was a good story. I think the biggest thing is it makes you really think about your own memories about a grandmother or maybe a great aunt or, something like that. It was really nice. And I recently found out that it is being adapted to a film. So I'm kind of excited to see when that comes out. I think it is a Finnish author. So that's kind of the feeling you get. It's very island side, fishing and collecting of shells, and that it's very atmospheric read. It almost reads more like nonfiction because it's so wrapped up in their environment. So I liked that one. I think I give it maybe 3 stars. And then what else did we read? I did read, so this was outside of the book club. I read The Stranger by Albert Camus. So it looks like Albert Camus, but it's Albert Camus because he's French. And that book was really interesting. I read it as a buddy read with Sarah over at Sarah MG Reads, which if you ever want a buddy read with somebody fantastic and she's up for it, definitely hit her up for a buddy read because I love the way she reads books. She's very much like me, like the analytical side and, really getting into the nitty-gritty stuff. And she just calls it the way it is. And I love that because that's the way I read. But this book, it's very much in the same tone as like a Franz Kafka, how he writes, and very philosophical. This is about a man who is kind of friends with this other guy. And he kind of just talks about the world and he's super apathetic. And I don't want to give too much away, but he does something and he ends up having to deal with it in court. And there's like a trial and it really kind of goes after his character based on a few of his actions earlier in the book, which to me did not make any sense considering what he did to get there. So it's a very philosophical read. It's supposedly a really popular book for people to read in school. I'm guessing for both literature and philosophical reasons or psychology. But it was really interesting. It's definitely a book that I could see someone wanting to read multiple times to kind of really explore different aspects of the read because it was weird. Like it was crazy. In the sense that like why did this person do this? Why does he think this way? And yeah, so that was interesting. That was a buddy read that I read. So that was like the one book that I read outside of Reading with Book Club. With Book Club, I also read The Spy Mistress. That's what we just finished reading by, is that Jennifer Shiverini? I think so. And that was okay. So that is a Civil War historical fiction, and it's based on the life of a real person, Elizabeth Van Lew, who kind of ran a spy network from the south to the north. So she was a unionist living in Richmond, Virginia, and she would kind of help get information back to the north regarding stuff that was happening in the south. And I gave it 3 stars. No, I gave it 2 stars. I gave it a very generous 2 stars because I feel like the book was super flat. You really only get her point of view. It's very much like Ivory Tower kind of thing, like savior of the black population in Richmond. And I just didn't feel like it was very authentic because we only really get her point of view and all of her like servants, who again are black, just like do whatever she tells them to do because like, oh, she's helping them. And it just didn't feel right to me. Like nothing really bad happens to her. Bad things happen to a bunch of other people. And again, it's based on a real person. So I guess you could say that, I mean, if she made it out and she ended up, in real life too, becoming the postmaster. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the writing was okay. Like, it was well done. You could tell it was well researched, but I just feel like as a story, as a fictional story, like there was nothing that was like making me want to keep reading. There was no real climax. There was no real, like pulling you in. It was really flat. I think that's the best word I can say about that book is it was flat. Maybe to someone else it would have been more intriguing, but to me it was not. So I gave that 2 stars. As far as any other books, I don't know that I read any others. I'm trying to think if I missed any. I feel like I'm missing whatever we read in July, because I think Chillberry was June or even May, so I might be missing 2 books. But anywho, so that's kind of what I've been reading, and I mean, the books have been okay. It's not like I haven't been enjoying reading, but I'm just happy that I haven't been holding myself to a TBR. I've just been mood reading. And lately my mood has not been in reading. With 2 kids under 2, it's been exhausting. My son is starting to sleep more at night, but when he does wake at night, then it's just a whole rigmarole. I get very little sleep from like 2 a.m. on. So when I do have time to myself and I'm sitting down, if I'm not working on something for DoubleBookedCo, I'm just watching TV because I don't have to focus on it. I don't have to worry about missing a line. So I've really just been watching TV. What have I been watching? Well, my husband accidentally subscribed to Max, which is like HBO, but now it's called Max. So I've been watching a lot of stuff on there. So I started watching White Lotus. So I watched the first season of that. So if you were at all watching White Lotus, I watched the first episode of the second season. I'm kind of like, meh. So if I should continue watching the second season, let me know. I watched all of the Sex and the City reboot. So I think that's called And Just Like That. That was really great. Like, I really enjoyed that because I just felt like you walked right back into that world. And I just loved all the new characters, and I loved all the new relationships and all the new storylines. And it still felt like Sex and the City, but it just was fresh and new and felt like now. So that was cool. I really liked that. I also started watching Sex Education again. I liked that show. I only watched the first episode of this newest season because it literally just started, so I have to get back into that. I also have been watching Big Bang Theory because I never watched it from the beginning. I've only like seen episodes here and there. So I've started watching that from the beginning, and that's been pretty fun. It's quirky, it's fun, it's clever, so I like that. I'm so happy that the British Bake Off show has started again. So I have tried to watch the first episode several times, but my children have always made me look the other direction. So I have to go back and start it over for the 3rd time. What else have I watched? I'm not sure. I must be missing something, but I have been doing a lot of TV watching. So there is that. Oh, I watched the entire series of Schitt's Creek, which... why was I not watching that before? That is a phenomenal show. I love that show. It was so hilarious. So I think I watched that like the first 2 weeks after my son was born. When I would wake up in the middle of the night and have to feed him and I'd be up, I would watch that. It's such a good show. I really did enjoy that. So that was super fun. Other than that, as far as life updates, I got a new hairstyle. Look at that. Yep. Short and bangs. So this just happened today. So I was waiting to make sure I had a nice haircut for y'all. I feel really good. It suits me better. My hair has been falling out like crazy, so I had to get something new. And I really like this. So there's that. Yeah, I've had a baby, so that's obviously, you all know that. Kingston. So my dog, so you know I have Dwight, who's kind of like a mixed, what kind of looks like a healer. We have Dwight, and then we have Kingston, who is an older dog. He actually passed this summer, so we no longer have Kingston, so it's just Dwight now, and he's been doing okay. He's definitely the baby protector, like he's definitely all up in their face. As far as like always being in the room that they're in, and if we leave, he's been like howling a little bit when the babies leave, but other than that, it's been okay. So Kingston's no longer with us. I've been working on DoubleBookedCo stuff, so if you haven't hopped over there, definitely do that. Check out what we have. We got a whole bunch of different and new bookmarks, different products. That's been fun. And other than that, there's really been nothing else like big happening because it's just been babies, diapers, and yeah. We have a heat wave right now, but I think next week we're going to have a real big cold front. So there's that. But yeah, that's me. That's what's been happening here. I've been really sad about not keeping up on my London videos, so I will be getting back into that. So I apologize to everyone who's in the Boxer group or has been wanting to see those. It's just kind of fallen to the wayside. Like I said, I can't concentrate on anything, so I'm hoping to get to that real soon. Hoping to get into more reading real soon. And I have a huge book haul that I've been meaning to film. I've been keeping all of the books that I've been accumulating over the last several months, like off to the side, not like putting them away. As you can tell, my bookshelves look hideous. But I've been keeping them separate so I can share them with you all because I know how much you love book hauls. So that should be coming out soon. But other than that's really it. Just kind of going through the motions, making sure my kids are healthy and alive. You know, obviously doctor's appointments and all that jazz. But yeah, tell me in the comments, what have you been up to? What are you hoping to see from the channel coming up here? I'm really hoping to do Vlogmas, so that should be fun. But yeah, tell me what I've been missing out on. Tell me any really good books that, you know, you're like, okay, I know you're kind of in a slumpish time of your life, Dani, but this one's good, I promise. You should probably read this one next. And any good shows, or have you watched any of the shows that I mentioned? What did you think about those? And yeah, I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be talking to you all again, and I can't wait to talk about more books because I'm starting to get the itch, and I'm hoping it's in the right direction. No 2 stars. Oh, and if you're interested, I just thought, so for October, DoubleBookedCo is reading The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. So if you're interested in reading that, definitely jump on over to our live discussion, which will be on Halloween, the 31st. But just read it anytime during the month. There's really no rhyme or reason to that, but that's the book we'll be reading. So I hope you join in. So yeah. Other than that, I hope you all are reading something great, taking care, and staying safe. Until next time, happy reading.